Hey everybody, welcome to my second lesson on the virtual learning format here. So we're going to continue with the executive branch today, and this is lesson 2. I want to remind you that vocabulary words are going to be in this magenta color, clickable links are in this aqua color, and assignments are going to be in red. Alright, so diving right in, today we're going to talk about the cabinet. Alright, and it's not like you think of a kitchen cabinet or something made of wood, anything like that. What it is a group of people, they're heads of departments that are there to advise the president. Alright. So the president relies on his cabinet to give him advice in important situations. All right. So as you can see here, we have several departments, and then I have a link here that will go to whitehouse.gov, redirect you there, and it'll show you all of the cabinet members. So as you can see, most of the heads of department have the title of secretary, right? Except for these guys here. But secretary is most commonly the head of a department, right? So there you go. You will use this as an assignment, and I will go into more detail about that in your Google Classroom, so please keep that in mind. Alrighty, so there you go. And continuing forward, another thing the president has is the executive privilege. This is the right claimed by the president to withhold information and resist subpoenas. Now, in this U.S. Supreme Court case, U.S. versus Nixon, the court ruled that a president cannot use executive privilege as an excuse to withhold information that is demonstrably relevant in a criminal trial. So this Supreme Court case basically said that you cannot use executive privilege to withhold information on a criminal trial. And this is really important to know because of the impeachment trial that happened rather recently. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about executive privilege, and realize that there has been a Supreme Court case about executive privilege. I'm going to go ahead and click on the link of the U.S. versus Nixon Supreme Court case, right? So here you have it, and I'm not going to read it to you. I'm not going to read it right now. What I will do is use this information for an assignment that we will have, and I will post that in Google Classroom. Here's a very famous photo of Nixon as he is leaving the White House, as he was the only president to resign from office. He feared that he would be impeached and later kicked out of office, so he's the only president that decided, okay, you know what, I'm just going to call it quits. They got enough information on me. I'm just going to get on out of here on my helicopter here. So you see Nixon leaving in a very famous pose there. Alright, so also we have the executive order. And what this is, an order given by the president that has the force of law. Now, it has the force of law because each executive department is required to follow this executive order. It is not a law in that it was not passed by the legislative branch. It was not passed by Congress. So basically, each executive department is following this order. So the sentence I have here is Trump's first executive order was to repeal and replace Obama's Affordable Care Act. Okay, so I have here an assignment that we had, and I think it was one of the last assignments that we had in the actual classroom. So I just wanted to pull that up real quick, and you can look at it. So this is about executive orders and presidential power, and there was a question here: do executive orders give the president too much power? So there were multiple documents that you could use and look at in order to answer that question. So since this is here again, feel free to look at this and, do whatever you need to do. I believe that third quarter will be closed at this point in time, so you will not have the opportunity to redo this for credit per se, but it is available to you for learning. Now, next thing we're going to look at is something called an executive agreement. And this is an international agreement made between heads of states of countries that are usually for routine matters that are less formal than a treaty. I have treaty underlined because that's an important concept that you should know. A treaty is an agreement between different countries. And the thing about a treaty is that it has to be approved by Senate. So an executive agreement is a little less formal than a treaty. Now, with our current situation, the coronavirus pandemic, it'll be interesting to see if there will be any sort of executive agreements, or will we have to resort to treaties in order to solve this problem of containment and treatment of people affected. So this will be something that I'd like to pay attention to during this time, to see how different countries are going to work together, and hopefully the United States, will be able to make the right decisions with other countries during this time. So will it be a treaty? Will it be an executive agreement? Will it be a combination? It's hard to tell. So there you go. And here we have a nice little picture here of an executive agreement. And that's that. I believe we are done here. So once again, I'm going to have assignments up for you. And I hope you all are doing well, staying healthy, and staying sane. Hopefully I will have more videos up here for you, and we can continue learning in this manner. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and appreciate you all. Love you all. See ya.